The nightingale promises a red rose. The nightingale promises a red rose to the young student. Go on writing down. The nightingale finds, F-I-N-D-S, finds a way of creating a red rose, a way of creating a red rose, a way of creating a red rose for the student, by sacrificing her life and music. By sacrificing her life and music, full stop. She is not worried about her death. She is not worried about her death, but delighted is delighted to have found a way to help the young student. The young student. She returns to the young student to announce this happy news. This happy news. This happy news. This happy news. The student is still in the weeping mood under the oak tree. The nightingale proudly and happily announces A-double-N-O-U-N-C-E-S, announces her sacrifice on behalf of the young student. Please quote, "Be happy. You shall have your red rose. I will build it out of music and stain it with my own heart's blood." Be happy. You shall have your red rose. I will build it out of music by moonlight and stain it with your own heart's blood. Go on writing. She further mentions to the young student that she has some humble request. She has some humble request to him. She has some humble request to him. Please quote, "All that I ask of you in return is that you will be a true lover." All that I ask of you in return is that you will be a true lover. Go on, write in. The nightingale, the nightingale wants, the nightingale wants the young student, the young student to be a true lover, to be a true lover as a gratitude, as a gratitude for her, for her selfless sacrifice, for her selfless sacrifice. For her selfless sacrifice. The young student, the young student may fulfill, may fulfill may fulfill the nightingale's humble request, the nightingale's humble request without any cost, without any cost. Without any cost. Next paragraph. Next paragraph. However, however, the young student, the young student fails to realize, the young student fails to realize fails to realize fails to realize the nightingale's message. The nightingale's message Nightingale's message full stop. He is highly educated. He is highly educated about the things. He is highly educated about the things from the books, from the books. But he does not have, but he does not have any education and knowledge about nature and natural elements and creatures. Natural elements and creatures. Please quote this part. He could not understand what the nightingale was saying to him, for he only knew things that are written down in the books. That are written down in the books. That are written down in the books. Go on writing down. The writer presents the writer presents a serious comment on the nature of education, on the nature of education that the young people receive that the young people receive full stop. It is a knowledge-based education. It is a knowledge-based education without any practical life skills, without teaching any practical, without teaching any practical life skills. Life skills. Next paragraph. Write down the subtitle, subtopic. The young students comments. The young students comments. The young student comments on the Nightingale's character. The young student comments on the Nightingale's character. Write down. The young student, the young student the young student fails to realize, FAILS, fails to realize fails to realize the Nightingale's message to him but he begins to write down some of his personal comments on the nightingale. On the nightingale. These comments are made through THROUGH are made through the superficial superficial observation OBSERVATION superficial observation of the nightingale's character. Superficial observation of the nightingale's character. Nightingale's character. Nightingale's character. His judgments on the nightingale's character are partly true and partly untrue. Partly true and partly untrue. UNTRUE. Go on writing. He correctly comments. He correctly comments that the nightingale has a birdly shape, and a sweet voice. A birdly shape and sweet voice. Full stop. The young students all other comments. The young students all other comments on the nightingale's character, on the nightingale's character, are totally wrong, are totally wrong. Are totally wrong. Full stop. He mentions that the nightingale is a feelingless, insincere, 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 and a selfish character. Insincere and a selfish character. Selfish character. Selfish character. This opinion of the young student about the nightingale is completely wrong, because the nightingale has already decided. The nightingale has already decided to sacrifice her life, for the young students desire, desire, desire. The students comments on next sentence. The students comments on the nightingale's music. The students comments on the nightingale's music are also wrong. are also wrong. Full stop. It is mentioned. It is mentioned that the nightingale's music has no meaning and no practical usefulness. No practical usefulness. Full stop. The student does not know. The student does not know that the student does not know that it is the nightingale's music it is the nightingale's music that partly help in creating that partly helps in creating that partly helps in creating the red rose. The red rose. Last paragraph. The student's words imply the student's words imply that superficial observations of or about a person superficial observations about a person are only partly true and they do not make they do not make us understand They do not make us understand the true nature of that person. True nature of that person.